senior pastor of Daystar Christian Center, Sam Adeyemi, has shared how a church member corrected him after he wrongly claimed that the eagle are the highest flying birds. Yeah, I'm sure you've had that notion too. Adeyemi recalled confidently making the statement during a sermon, only to be approached later by a church member who politely informed him that the claim was incorrect. According to Adeyemi, further research confirmed the correction, revealing that the eagles do not even feature among the top 10 highest flying birds. The pastor praised the humility and wisdom in learning from others, even as a leader. Yep. So the next day, a church member sent a text message to Pastor Nick and said, "I know I don't have the right to correct Pastor Sam, but he said something in church yesterday that the eagle is the highest flying bird in the world. That statement is not correct. As she was saying it, I was on my phone checking on Google. The person was right. The eagle doesn't even come within the first 10," he admitted. He took responsibility for the error, returned to church, and publicly apologized. This experience led Adeyemi to emphasize the importance of authenticity and honesty in leadership. He noted that the digital age has empowered people to fact-check and verify information, making it essential for leaders to be transparent and accountable. Adeyemi encouraged leaders to own up to mistakes and be willing to learn, highlighting that people value honesty and integrity. We don't realize you said something now that you said before and nobody would even bother to follow it. They are checking on Google as you are saying it, he said. Now they are saying hypocrisy. That's why people are leaving the church, because people are holding their ground. These young people have gone to check all those in the original Greek, all those things in the original Greek that you were saying before, because nobody understood Greek. If they go online now, they will get the correct meaning of what you are saying. Now, the angle I want to pick from this is somebody as high as he is accepting correction. Now, you see some people get corrected and they feel like you are coming at them, you are criticizing them. Some people will just attack you that moment. But seeing this now, how does this story resonate with you as a person?
I think this is one of the best things I've seen today.
Oh wow!
Right, because I'm in the church space. I'm a church boy, and first of all, I want to commend him for that. I mean, not only accepting the fact that he was wrong, but also coming on social media so to help other religious leaders or pastors see reasons why they should accept that they make mistake. You know, over time we've had, I'm not going to mention names, we've had issues where church pastors will come and tell you that there was one that was recent, just last 2 weeks. You hear things like God does not like the poor, blah 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 blah. I think as humans and as individuals, we need to understand that these people give us information that they have access to, and oftentimes they don't know it all.
True.
Do you understand? Now, on our own parts, I think it's also the way we get to correct these people. First of all, you need to understand that he started that the lady, I don't know if it's a lady or a guy, but the person did it politely. He didn't even, not like you after service, you sent a message. I've had times in church, oftentimes, you know, your pastor might just say something, this thing is not grammatically correct, and you don't know, or maybe they display the sermon for that day, the topic of the sermon for that day, and you're seeing that the sentence doesn't make sense, and you're like, okay, this is not right. So oftentimes I walked up to them and like, okay, I don't think this is correct too. And not the pastor in quote, but some other people above you, probably the head of it, they are no, this was all, and this thing we pastor give us. Because not be you, Holy Spirit, give the message, so you know if you're not there, correct. But you're seeing that this is not right. So I think leaders, church leaders, and you know, people above need to understand that they don't know it all. There are some things that your pastor might say in church. It happens to me a lot of times. My pastor might say something in church, I'm like, okay, he's teaching, but I don't agree to this. All right, but I'm not going to now go and tell him, I don't agree to this thing that you're saying. No. He's only giving me an information that he has access to at that time. And it's okay for him to wake up the next day and say, okay, this thing I said yesterday, I don't think it's okay, okay? But because he's a pastor, all right, coming to church now to now come and say, okay, this is, so I just feel like people should filter what they hear in church oftentimes. Not everything your pastor says is correct.
It's correct, because they are also humans.
Now let's just forget about the fact of correcting grammar and all of that. Even biblically, sometimes I feel like there are certain things your pastor tells you that is not entirely correct. That does not mean he's not studying his Bible. It's just maybe he doesn't have, or at that time he has not seen things from that particular aspect of life and all of that. All right, a pastor might come and tell you that, oh, my wife must be humble, must do this before me. If my wife does not call me leader, or all of those things that we used to believe in those days. And then somebody of my age will not be expecting my wife to wake up in the morning and wash my feet and all of that. I'm now become so. I feel like we're evolving, and then certain things are not, should not be acceptable. But then, most importantly, if you're going to correct your leader or you're going to correct someone above you, you should learn to do it politely and at the right time too. All right. Imagine if I had walked up to the media and said, no, don't display it. I have to go and tell pastor this thing is not right. Okay, so oftentimes you just go and tell them, especially if it's your pastor. All right, you could just send a message, or if you can't do that yourself, you send someone who you feel can do that.
Yeah, like the second person.
Yes, exactly.
Pastor,
you could just, or somebody you have a relationship with who is above you, say, okay, please, can you help me tell pastor that this is not actually correct, if they can change it immediately, or anything of that sort. Sometimes you see pastors forgetting scriptures.
Yeah,
pastors forgetting. Sometimes they tell you that it was John 3:16 said this, but it wasn't so. They are humans and they make mistakes. So let's learn to correct them with love and do it politely. And then our leaders should also learn to accept that they made a mistake.
Do you think personality too comes in play here? Because the first person that met him after service and politely told him. Now, if he wasn't some sort of a reachable kind of person, do you think that would have been possible?
No, I don't think that would have been possible. I don't think that. That was why I said earlier that our leaders should learn. They should learn to be able to accept the fact that they made a mistake. Now, keep the fact that you're a pastor aside. First of all, you're human. I feel become pastor tomorrow. You never know that God coming because now you did here now. Do you understand? I can just come to the next 5 years and tell you, okay, I have this. God has called me. Okay, I start studying the Bible and all of that.
But you studied the Bible before now.
But you know that level of attention now. That I'll start studying. I know the Bible now more than you. So if you now talk to me, even if you're in my saying, no, don't talk to me like that. I'm above you now. Do you understand? So that kind of setting. So I feel like first of all, before they are pastors, they are humans.
Yeah.
All right. So they should, personality-wise, they should learn to, accept that, okay, I'm wrong, and then the person who is sending the message to should go through the right source. There are some pastors you cannot have access to. So instead of you to now go on social media and go and post that this thing that this pastor said was wrong and blah blah blah, how about you send a message to the youth pastor or the pastor under the pastor or somebody that can have access to the pastor and then make such corrections rather than bringing everything, especially church folks these days, everything is on social media. You get, so that's just what I feel.
My last question is, how are you so sure that the person you're delivering this message, you are giving this message to pass, will pass it across?
The most important thing is you've done your part. I would always say that the most important thing is you've done your part. All right. What if you don't have access to the pastor? What will you do?
What if you don't have access to the pastor? What would you do?
So the most important thing is just try as much as you can to pass that information across.